Hello everyone, this is an introduction to iOS development with SwiftUI and Swift 4.3 and 5.2. First, we learn about this brilliant new layout fashion in creating iOS apps with SwiftUI. Z-Stack, V-Stack, and H-Stack. Z-Stack is what is displayed from front to back in that order. V-Stack, also known for vertical stack, is what is used to be displayed from top to bottom. H-Stack, also known for horizontal stack, gets displayed from left to right. These are nested stacks, so you can have another Z-stack inside a Z-stack, V-stack, and H-stack followed by curly brackets like this. This is a cool new feature of SwiftUI which comes with MVVM, which is Model View vModel architecture built in. It also has instant previews. You can click on the SwiftUI file inside your Xcode project and click on the play button on the panel on the right side and have instant previews of your screens as your development progresses. In SwiftUI also you can switch views quickly with the help of navigation links and navigation stacks. When using navigation links, you can use the dot navigation bar back button hidden true parameter to easily hide the navigation bar back button while switching views. This is an example of using SwiftUI and Z-Stack, V-Stack, and H-Stack, and also navigation links. This example is shown in the following two screenshots. You need to save the images in your assets folder as 2x and 1x images, and if not done, the images will not show up on the screen. You can also implement tab bars and tab views by using tab views and dot tab items. In SwiftUI, the state parameter is used to change the state of the app. Below, we change the string value of a text box with this @state parameter. Finally, we see an example below for playing an audio file and pausing the audio file with AB Foundation. We use guard statements and var and get statements to define variables in Swift. Before we leave SwiftUI, the best concept of SwiftUI, in my opinion, is spacers. Add spacers anywhere in your SwiftUI file and create a space between different elements in your views, and the screens will adapt accordingly to the different sizes of the iOS devices. Just remember, you can currently have up to 10 elements, including spacers, in your SwiftUI file. Anything more than 10 elements, and Xcode will throw a compile error. A quick look at important factors of SwiftUI, Swift 4.3 and 5.2. Data types are components of a programming language. We use var as variables, int as integers, let, key, value, print, errors. Functions are logical statements made using those components, for example loops. You can easily connect IB outlets by control clicking UI elements such as the UI button inside the storyboard and dragging it inside the code window and generating IB outlets like this. Similarly, you can click on the IB Action Radio button in the inspector panel and dragging it into the code and window like this. This is the way it shows on the screen. These are examples of declaring variables. You can also define dictionaries like this. This is an example of using the parameters shown before. You can also use third-party tools such as Alarmify for important tasks such as fetching data like JSON data from the server. But then you'll be dependent on those tools, and sometimes the creators stop supporting those libraries. So I recommend using the official iOS SDK for such tasks. Below are some of the examples of those tasks. This is an example of fetching images from a server link via get method with Swift 4. The above code lets you define a URL of the link. Let data defines data as the variable that stores the data fetched from the URL via try method and initiate the variable data the contents of the URL with contents of URL. This sets the UI images initiated with the image data collected above and sets it to the image view as an image. This is an example of fetching data from a URL as well as JSON data via get method. The above code runs a do loop that performs all the tasks in the loop before exiting the loop. Let defines the URL link as a string. The above code passes the above string as an URL. The next example defines data as a variable that stores the contents of the URL fetched with the options of data. Reading options via try catch method. The above code defines a JSON object via try catch method with JSON serialization initiating the JSON object with data to fetch with options to allow fragments such as set as a string of any format. The above code defines items as JSON objects with flat map in order to pass them as strings. Defines as integer as 0, running a for loop to select each item in the above items array, printing the list of items fetch the items in the log file, catch loop to highlight any error found in the above process, printing the errors in the log file. The below code sets images fetched in the UI collection view. The code defines a variable called cell and names it to gallery view cell and sets it as a collection view usable cell with the name identifier, naming it as gallery cell for each number of rows serialized with index path variable. The above code defines an array called image URL and passes each image URL and stores in it. Defines an image URL as a string. This replaces this with your image outline. The above code sets the fetched images from the URL to the gallery view cells with the use of arrays. Returns each cell in a loop above after setting all the images in each of the cells. This sets the size of the UI collection view and the images inside the cells. This example shows fetching data with the get method in Swift 4. The above code does a do loop. This performs the task inside the do loop. First, it defines a URL as a string named JSON string. The next code passes the above string as a URL. The third code initiates a variable called data2 with data contents of the above with reading options via try catch method. It then initiates a variable called JSON object with the data fetched from the URL with JSON serialization method via try catch method, allowing fragments and expecting a string of any format. It defines items as JSON objects with flat map in order to pass them as strings. The next code defines an integer called I and initiates it with the value 0, running a for loop to pass each item in the array of items, prints each item of the above passed list of items in the log file, prints any error caught in the above do loop processes in the log file. Next, we learn about fetching data with post method in SwiftUI Swift 4. The below code defines an action function and calls it as a post action sent by any gesture such as a button tapped by the user. It next defines the URL as string by let method. Next, we fetch the URL as a string or return via guard method. The next code defines the contents of a NS dictionary. Finally, we define a variable in the above code called request and set it as a URL request and passing the URL string created above called service URL. Next, we define the HTTP method of the URL request as post method, then set the value of the above URL request with JSON object as the content type. Then we try to fetch the JSON object with JSON serialization method or else return from the function via try catch method. Then we set the request HTTP body with HTTP body defined above, which stores the JSON object. Then we define the session as a URL shared session. This is the end of the introduction of SwiftUI, Swift 4.3 and 5.2. I hope you enjoyed the tutorial. Thank you.